So before I start saying anything in this video, before I start blabbing about, I have to set the record straight. I have to complain. Okay. I succumbed to peer pressure, and just like everybody else out there, I didn't mean to, but everybody was doing it, everybody was talking about it, and I had to do it too. And I promise you, if you were in my shoes, you would do the exact same thing. I promise you, you will do the exact same thing, because tell me how you will not get your own oraimo SpaceBuds too. I mean, but enough of that. Let's get into the video and let me tell you what I honestly think about this baby right here. Hi, welcome back to Tech Mansion. My name is Josh, and we'll be reviewing the oraimo SpaceBuds 2 today. So one of the first things that we're talking about is the overall build quality. And as you can see, it's pretty sleek to look at, and I specifically like this gray color. I like how it is very sleek, yet sturdy. It looks posh, but it also looks and feels very durable. Another thing I like about the SpaceBuds 2 is the size of the charging case. They went with the similar circular design that was in the first version, and it weighs about as much as a tennis ball, if not less. And it fits very nicely into the pockets. And it's also, quite fun to, have in your palms if you're that kind of person. I'm really impressed by the finish quality. I'm a fan of how smooth the exterior is, and the LED lights around it is a really nice touch. I'm impressed. I think it's very cool. But I am worried about how smooth it is when it comes to having sweaty palms, or your arms are oily for whatever reason. I'm worried it might fall off. But then I don't have sweaty palms, so I may never know. And I'm also a huge fan of the hinge strength. It feels pretty sturdy, it feels very durable, and it's not something that seems that would wear off, after time. But then we will only find out if we do this video maybe in like 6 months time. But for overall build quality, I'd give it a solid 9 over 10. The SpaceBuds are very comfortable to use, at least that is my experience so far. From first putting them into my ear, they fit very comfortably. The earbuds are pretty soft, and I like the fact that they have different sizes in the box for different ear sizes, of course. Also, it fits very snugly, so even when you have to shake your head, it doesn't easily fall off. It makes it very useful when you are walking around or even jogging. They don't fall off easily. So for everyday use, this definitely passes the test. When it comes to pairing with your phone for the first time, things are pretty straightforward. All you need to do is go to your Bluetooth settings, make sure you're on the Bluetooth settings page, and you slide open the SpaceBuds 2 case. You should see it appear, on your Bluetooth list of available devices. You click on it, and the option to pair comes up right away. And when you click on pair, it pairs very, very quickly. When it comes to reconnection after you've disconnected, the AirPods, it happens really fast, like lightning fast. You turn on your Bluetooth, and just like that, you're reconnected back to the AirPods 2. So when it comes to Bluetooth and pairing, I'm very impressed. I really love this one. Now, one thing that really fleshes out the experience of using the SpaceBuds 2 is the oraimo sound app. Now, to get the sound app, all you need to do is go to Google Play Store. You can just type oraimo sound app. Before you finish typing, oraimo sound app, you would get results. So you click on it, you download, and then you open the app. Now you immediately see, the option to connect to an oraimo device. You can do that, and once you do that, the SpaceBuds 2 should appear on your screen. Now, once you're in the app, you should be able to navigate through equalizer presets, noise cancellation controls, transparency mode, touch controls, lighting effects, which allow you to change the colors of the light on the rim of the cases, some pretty cool AI features, and find my earbuds for when you eventually lose them, because we know that you will lose one at some point. For sound, this earbuds comes with spatial audio capabilities, which is pretty cool, but personally, I am not a fan of. I don't know why, it just sounds weird to me. I prefer the default setting, but if you do love spatial audio, these earbuds are perfectly capable of that. Now, when it comes to volume levels, they are pretty amazing. Just disclaimer though, if you want to have good hearing for a very long time, listen to stuff at moderate volumes. But if you want to go full blast, these earbuds are very, very capable of it. The bass is also very impressive as well, and the instrument separation for when you're listening to music is also pretty top notch. It is also pretty great when you're watching movies, and it gives it a very, very fun experience. Noise cancellation is one of the major features of the SpaceBuds 2. Now, I know that almost every earbuds out there boasts of noise cancellation, but between me and you, noise cancellation passes noise cancellation. And I can tell you honestly that the noise cancellation feature for the SpaceBuds 2 is pretty authentic. Now, if you're using it indoors and there's a fan or an AC or even a TV playing in the background, you would absolutely not hear it. And if you live in a gated compound or you're sharing gates with neighbors and everything, don't use it indoors because you will not hear anybody knocking at all. I've been a victim of that, so I'm telling you for free. Be careful how you use it indoors. Now, when it comes to using it outdoors, it dulls down traffic noise and environment noise. If you are in a noisy place like Lagos, or you're even in a restaurant or cafe, it dulls it down to almost an absolute zero. You would not hear anything at all, which is also a little worrisome if you're walking about, especially in Lagos traffic. Don't use noise cancellation in Lagos traffic because you will not hear when they're shouting at you to leave the road. Which brings me to the next feature that is somewhat, the opposite of noise cancellation, and that is transparency mode. Transparency mode is basically the opposite of noise cancellation, where noise cancellation stops any manner of noise from coming in, leaving you in that pocket of space in your own world. Transparency mode does the opposite. It still retains the volume, but it allows external noise to filter in, which can be good if you are in a space with people and you want to pay attention to what you're listening to, but you also don't want to be left out of conversation, or you still want to be aware of your surroundings, which is a pretty good consideration to balance it out. Because like I said, noise cancellation in a very busy place could be catastrophic for you and your safety. So transparency mode balances that out. So yeah, thumbs up to Oraimo for this one. When it comes to calls, the oraimo SpaceBuds perform really well even in noisy environments or in the presence of an unwanted background sound. But don't take my word for it. Let's do a voice call test and see how it works practically. Right, for the call test, I'm going to call my friend Samson, and I'm going to turn on this really big industrial fan here, and we're going to see what the call quality would sound like. I'm going to record the audio and show you guys. And I am calling Samson, and I'm going to turn on the fan now at the highest.
Hello?
Alright, hello Samson, can you hear me?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. What's up?
I need you to verify. I think the network is a bit, shoddy, but can you hear any wind noise in the background?
No, I can't.
You sure?
Yeah. I can't hear anything in the background.
Yeah, absolutely sure you can't hear any noise in the background at all.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Alright, thank you.
You said?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Alright.
Well, there goes. So for calls, you can trust Oraimo, at least on this one. The SpaceBuds 2 also serve really well when you're watching content off of YouTube, you're streaming a movie on Netflix, and even when you're playing video games. So for all my COD people, you would feel those gunshots in your brain. You would literally feel it in your brain. So yeah, thumbs up for this one. When it comes to battery and charging, the oraimo SpaceBuds 2 lasts for about 7 to 9 hours, give or take, before you start getting, battery low warnings. Also, if you're using the Oraimo app, you'd be able to see where you're able to see the battery percentage of the case and the earbud separately. And also, one more thing to note about the battery is, even though it lasts for about 7 to 9 hours, Oraimo advertises that it would last longer without the noise cancelling, feature, but I haven't tried that, so I can't say for sure. Also, the case has a USB-C charging port, so you can use a USB-C cable directed to, direct power or a power bank. It also boasts of some pretty cool AI features, such as AI translation, voice prompt customization, as well as smart case features, which allows you to decide what the button on the case does, as well as changing the light on the rim of the case. For the AI chat translation feature, all you have to do is make sure that the buds are connected via the app. So you navigate there and look for the AI chat translation feature. When you click on it, you should be able to select the languages you want to translate from and to, and it works pretty well. However, we couldn't test the one-on-one conversation feature because I do not speak many other languages fluently. So we're going to make another one solely showing you how the one-on-one conversation feature was. So make sure you subscribe and you don't miss that video. The AI chat translation feature could get you out of basic language barrier situations, maybe asking for directions, trying to order something in another language, or striking up basic conversation in different settings. So I think it is a useful tool to have. Like I said, we weren't able to test the one-on-one conversation feature yet, and we'll make a separate video for that. But based on the chat feature, I think Oraimo did a good job here. So what's my honest take on the oraimo SpaceBuds 2? Let's start with the good stuff. Some of the best features still include its design quality and its overall build. I love how sturdy and sleek it is. Oraimo managed to blend those two things together. It looks really sleek, smooth. I love the ring design around it, and the LED lights on the edges is a really nice touch. It also looks like it can survive a fall or two. Another thing to look out for is the sound quality. The noise cancellation is top notch, and I love the fact that they incorporated the transparency mode so that you don't get run over by a car or something. Another good thing to look out for is the battery life, which is 7 to 9 hours like I mentioned, so it lasts really long and it doesn't take so long to charge as well. Finally, I love the range. It makes it very fun to use in-house, especially indoors. You can move from one room to the other, which I worry so much about losing connection along the way. When it comes to the weaknesses of the oraimo SpaceBuds 2, I just have probably two. First being a flaw or a worry that I have in the design or with the design, the overall smoothness, especially for someone who has sweaty palms or your hand is oily for some reason. I'm just worried about, I keep having that flash of it slipping from your hand and maybe falling from a balcony or something, but that's just worst case scenario. I just wish that they had maybe like a grip feature that would help you, hang on to it a little bit more tightly. If you're wondering whether you should get the oraimo SpaceBuds 2, I think it depends on who you are and what you're looking for. If you are trying to get something pretty cool without spending so much money, then the oraimo SpaceBuds 2 is the perfect fit. For just about 50,000 to 53,000, you get a pretty slick looking earbuds that are really functional, have amazing features like noise cancellation and AI translation features. So you definitely get your money's worth. However, if you don't have that kind of money to spend on earbuds, fair enough, we understand, country hard. You can go for the lower tier ones like the oraimo SpaceBuds Neo, which still give you noise cancellation, but of course you lose the pretty cool case and some other extra features as well. Also, if you're looking for something higher than that, then you would have to go for the higher tiered ones that cost about 100 to 150,000 Naira. For it to rank the SpaceBuds 2 out of 10, well, only because I haven't fully explored the AI chat feature yet, I would give it a solid drop. I'd give it a solid 8 over 10 because so far it has delivered as promised, and I think the AI chat translation feature will just be icing on the cake, for when I have money to travel around the world. So yeah, solid 8 over 10, totally worth the money. Cool. Now, just like we used to say in primary school if you're from Nigeria and secondary school back in the day, with these few points of mine, I hope I'm able to convince you and confuse you with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to confuse. You know what, before I bite my tongue, I just hope that you found this video really helpful. And if you did, make sure you leave a comment, let us know what else you'd like us to test, and subscribe to the channel. And also don't forget to share, and somebody else might find this useful too. Maybe that your friend that is always complaining of his Katapo AirPod. You can help him out. My name is Josh, and this is Tech Mansion where tech lives, and I'll see you in the next video. Be safe.